get started. Welcome, everybody. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Any additions to the agenda tonight? I have one, but I can't remember what the heck it was.
Lights?
Yes,
Oh.
that's it. Pool lights, we're gonna add under new business. It's just a quick discussion. Can I get a motion in a second?
So moved.
I made the motion.
Can
Can I get a second?
Seconded.
Moved and seconded to add the pool lights under new business. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Those opposed? Okay. Any other additions? Seeing none, I have no remarks. We have no guests. Open public comment, non-agenda items only. Seeing none, we move on. We're just gonna skip the school board joint meeting part for now until they get in here. For approval of meeting minutes from regular meeting January 17th and the road inspection from January 17th and the public hearing for January 17th. Take that.
Are you doing them all at once?
If you're happy with all of them, we can absolutely do them all at once.
Well, there is one correction on the,
Then we can't do them all at once.
well, there's just one correction on the lane inspection.
On the inspection?
Yes,
What?
Jeff Dunkley. I don't know which one this one is, but.
Oh, yeah.
Spelled my name wrong.
Yeah.
Oh,
The inspection.
We have a Dunkley like that at the plant.
I always have to say that. L-E-E, not L-E-Y. Thank you.
But that's just it.
You're used to people spelling names wrong, aren't
Oh, I'm very
Can't vote for the ones
awful
in
for
my
it. That's what you mean. I don't know. But they need to be
That's true.
correct, especially yours.
You can't even vote on the inspection and the,
I was here for the hearing.
yeah,
The
you can't.
inspection.
so let's do them individually because we
Yes.
can't all vote on everything because we weren't all at everything.
Right.
Because I didn't go to the road inspection because I was late and Jean didn't go because she doesn't care. And,
Excuse me,
no,
I
I'm
was working
kidding,
in the
I'm
library.
kidding. I am kidding, but that's what you said after.
No, I didn't.
Well,
It's
it all
all good.
comes out.
I can't.
I know, it's awful.
I was in the library.
I'm kidding. Jeez, chill out. Okay. Make a motion for the regular meeting minutes, January 17th. Those did not have any corrections, right?
I didn't see any.
Okay. Somebody make the motion. Second.
So moved. Oh,
All right, Adam,
you? Second.
thank you, second. Moved and seconded to accept the regular meeting minutes of January 17th as written. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Good. Road inspection, I can't do anything with because I wasn't there. I don't even have a quorum to do that. We can't even vote on that one.
What?
So we're gonna skip that.
Oh,
Public hearing,
nothing happened there other than we looked and then we left.
yeah, I know, but we can't
We can't even do that.
we can't approve
Oh, all right.
the minutes. Well, I don't know why there's even minutes on the thing.
I'm not sure either, but
Whatever.
anyway. We did have enough people
Yes.
be back here at the barn, if you will.
Yes, we can approve the public hearing meeting.
Yes, so moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded to accept the public hearing minutes from January 17th. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Mr. Clerk, bills and warrants.
Yes, Mr. Chair, I present the warrants for review and payment. The accounts payable warrant 15-T in the amount of $1,735,697.22, and 3 payroll warrants, 3S in the amount of $9,313.97, 4S in the amount of $7,784.49, and 5S in the amount of $7,747.64.
Second.
Moved and seconded to accept the bills and warrants as read. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? I need to take a short recess and make a phone call. The paper still prints every night. Girl Scout cookie sales at voting March 6th. We just need to give them approval along with the historian's food sales. If we're okay with that, we just need to all say yes. We don't really need a motion.
I did check with Sam and he said it's fine.
Okay, everybody okay with that?
Yes.
Okay, so we're good with those two things. Consideration of membership to Clean Water Advisory Committee. Steve, do you have something to do with that?
I'm not aware of the Clean
Okay.
Water Advisory Committee.
So tell us about it, because I don't know anything about it.
The Wyndham Regional Commission is teaming up with the Clean Water Advisory Committee, which is part of the Natural Resources Committee. And essentially, what will happen is that the chair is going to, the chair will serve on the executive board of the Wyndham Regional Commission. And we'll have each municipality will get representatives, and they will go through and test your water. There's like water testing things, and did anybody read this? It's a lot of stuff.
I glanced through
And
it.
it was a lot of stuff.
That's why I didn't read it.
They provide technical assistance having to do with.
Does it cost us anything?
It does not cost us anything, but I would like the opportunity to look a little further into it before making a decision.
Well,
This is the
the thing
only
that struck
first
me
thing
when
I've
I,
heard of it.
oh, pardon me.
No, go ahead.
The thing that struck me when I read it is number one, none of the, as far as I can tell, other than, they do have Broad Brook, which I guess flows through one corner of Vernon, but like Cold Brook isn't mentioned here, and I suspect that the focus is going to be on like everything north, so I figured, well, okay.
I mean,
It's Wyndham Regional Commission too, so.
I think they're looking to put some technical backup to water quality issues, policy making, policy implementation about water quality.
You guys can all
Your
come up
region.
right here. We tried to set up chairs. I don't know if we have enough for everybody, but if we don't, we can pull some more up.
Okay, thank you, guys.
So we're gonna hold off on that one. Consideration of membership to VCRD.
Is everybody aware of what that is? After the whole.
I would hope so.
Okay.
Anybody have any thoughts on that?
I think that their visit here to Vernon and the things that came out of that were positive. Is that what you're looking for, that kind of input?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, it's going to be something else that we have to find volunteers to take care of, I'm assuming.
They weren't asking for any representation on the board. It's a $150 membership fee.
Yeah.
It's a member-supported nonprofit.
Of course it is.
I don't know if we have money in this year's budget for that, for memberships, I don't know.
There is a line item for professional memberships, which is pretty much taken up by the town clerk membership and
Right.
the
Right.
treasurer's membership and now my membership.
Yeah.
But
Given the fact that we're going to be, at least it sounds like the town of Vernon is going to be moving more towards this, village center and that kind of thing, I think it would be a worthwhile thing to consider at least.
I agree, because I think there's still people involved with this that are helping that group also.
Yes, yeah.
I don't recall getting this last year.
No, I
It's the
don't
first time I
recall
think
it
we've
either,
seen
no.
them ask for this.
Nope.
Jeff, what do you think?
It's fine with me.
That was convincing.
Maybe, because their whole process
more
was
passion
very
into it.
long, and maybe
Please.
once when they were done with us, then maybe they asked us to join as a member,
That could be it.
once they were kind of finished with our project.
I'm not a huge fan of the process, so I'll let you guys decide. I'm a no on it, but if you three want to do it, let's
The
do
process of
it.
what they did?
Yeah. I think it's a lot of wasted state money, personally, but that's my own opinion.
Well, for myself, I saw a coalescence of interest on the part of townspeople in doing certain things to make the town more, I don't know, cohesive. And that's why I thought that was a good thing. I don't think we've ever seen anyone come in from outside and do that sort of thing. In fact, I'll compare what was done under this program to the annual funds that we pay to Wyndham Regional Commission every year. And to me, this would be a money better spent than going that direction.
I do agree with that.
I was trying to find the right
Yeah.
key to open the door. and I
You
think I did.
did it.
Yeah,
You did
there's
it.
been some significant grants that came out of all of this,
Okay.
and the continued work to kind of get Vernon to have a center and a sense of community that we've not had before.
So let's make a motion to the effect. Sounds like you guys are all in agreement.
Well, I would move that we join this organization and find somewhere $150 to pay for it.
Second.
Moved and seconded to become a member of VCRD. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? VCRD. So number 5, pool lights, the thing that we added, this is just gonna be, you guys all got the email from Seth. We had one of the exterior pole lights not in the pool area, but outside on the parking lot come down a couple of days ago due to a significant amount of rust in the base of the steel of the post. So at this point, that makes us have to evaluate every single one for safety and go from there. We have a couple of different options for replacement. We've talked to an electrician. We've also talked to Mike Renaud. One option is to replace the current poles with shorter, more efficient lighting, LEDs, which will allow us to have less lights and be more efficient. The other option that Mike brought to the table is to cut the base off of the poles that have significant rust damage, similar to the one that fell, and then drop them back down on themselves. They've lasted 45 years, so if we cut a couple feet off, drop them down to the ones that need it, then we should get another 45 years out of them.
That technique would actually work though? I mean, I'm not.
Mike's gonna come look at
It's
it.
like hollow tubes or something?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
see.
they are. Yeah, all the electrical runs up the middle of them.
And they're steel apparently.
Yeah, they're Core 10 steel. I learned more about steel than I ever want to learn.
Okay,
Core 10 steel is no longer used,
right.
probably for this reason.
Probably for this reason. Well,
But
fortunately, it didn't fall on anyone.
yes,
Is
but
there any other place around town that we should be looking at poles that are on town property, I wonder?
probably this building.
That's sort of crossed my mind too.
Taken out last winter.
So,
Well, I guess, seeing what the electric bill is for the rec area when it's not even being used, I think efficiency would be a consideration at this
yep.
time, and maybe getting some idea of what we're looking at to replace to something more efficient, and maybe what just repairing some of them is, just to have a comparison to make a decision. But
That's the idea.
I think that efficiency really needs to be addressed,
Yep.
seeing that electric bill.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are quite high. The other thing I noted in Seth's memo or letter was that he talked about altering the hours so as to not require that intensity of lighting in the pool during times that people are swimming. And I mean, to me, that makes kind of sense, because even a well-lighted pool, certainly in the dark, is more difficult to see into than one during the day.
Yep. Yeah, that's something that we're gonna look at as well. One way or the other, the light pole situation has to be dealt with, just
Right.
because
Right.
there's 8 of those poles within the chain length of the pool.
Oh, yeah.
So if one of those is
Right.
unsafe, we don't want it falling
Right,
into the
exactly.
pool or onto someone, or,
Exactly,
you
yes.
know, what the variety of options can be there.
This was the warning shot, I guess.
Yeah, and I'm glad it happened in the winter, and I'm glad
Yeah,
it didn't
right, nobody was
really hurt anything. So, all right, so we're good with that. We're to be determined what we do with that. School board, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it. What do you have for us?
Well, I guess we'd start by thanking you for having us come here. It's good to be talking. And thank you for coming to our meeting last December, I guess it was, when you all came.
It's been a couple months.
So it has been. So thank you for that. Thank you for opening the lines of communication. That certainly is a good thing. I guess we're also here to say, what can we do to help you?
Good. Basically, from our last discussion, we were able to cut about $6,000 out of the budget, out of the town budget, for the lawn care that you all are gonna be doing for the town, which is awesome. And I think that's, you know, on that same vein, we need to keep those type of discussions open. And if there's any way that we can share any type of service, and help offset through, you know, the town tax rate, which is school tax rate, is one big thing. Do we have all the numbers and everything that we needed from them as far as like direct rental and all that?
Yeah, I believe all that came in.
Okay, great.
So everything's good there? Okay.
What was the difference between last year and this year? Does anybody know? Normally it's like a couple of percentage points different each year.
The difference in,
The rental.
oh, the rental? I
Yeah.
don't know.
You know, I don't know if we had the final school rental on.
It's the same?
It's actually was the same.
It's the same?
It's the same as last year?
Yes.
Same as last
Okay.
year?
That's what Seth told me.
All right.
But are there any other ideas for where we could share services? Or how do we keep the conversation going, I guess is what I'd love to keep exploring.
Yeah, I mean, we do a lot right now, even more than people even realize, especially with the town plowing the parking lot, which wouldn't be even feasible or possible unless the rec had a space there. You know, janitorial services here is something else that we can look at and is a big thing for us. Because that's, you know,
75, 8,000.
yeah, $8,000, you know, to the town. Obviously, we don't want to increase the hours of the janitors at the school because that's not beneficial. That's actually worse. But, you know, I guess just continually thinking about how we can, you know, expand. And the rental fee for the rec is one that, you know, I kind of harass Seth about on a regular basis and say, okay, are you using the art room more? Are you using the music room? Are you, you know, what are you doing different last year from this year that, you know, we can legally charge the town more to help offset, you know, you guys' budget that much more. And, you know, he's always kind of hesitant to do it because he's just happy that, you know, the state has allowed us to do what we've done so far. And I understand that, but I think we need to continue to push that a little bit. And I will do that from the rec board perspective, to see, you know, what we can do in that way. Outside of that, I mean, I don't, for us, those are the only couple of things that, you know, come to my mind right away. Does anybody else have anything in mind that, you know, shared services wise that we can, you know, be beneficial one way or the other? Steve?
Nothing is coming to mind for me right now. One thing that I do think is important, there was some interest in the articles, the article on your funding request. That fortunately, with some research, we figured out what that was all about. But it did certainly caught my breath when I first read it, and I, because it, you know, it just really looked very different, and I understand that there's different ways of computing that this year over last. Now I understand. I didn't know that initially, and I had visions of my taxes going through the roof.
And actually,
right along with them.
if I'm correct, the school tax rate's gonna go down this year?
It does appear so.
Right
yeah.
now-
And the town tax rate is gonna go up?
Right now, the school is projected, this all needs to be finalized by the state, so thank you, everyone, knock on wood, to go down. Our equalized per pupil spending is down 8.2%. So what Steve was talking about with the number that you saw on the article warning is just that this year, we are going to be paying tuition to BUHS. Whereas in the past, we would get an assessment. So the article warning only dealt with the elementary school. This year, the article warning is dealing with the elementary school plus the assessment. Before, people never really saw that assessment. It happened up at a meeting in Brattleboro that 20 people go to from Vernon. So this year, you are seeing that combined figure. But I think the more valuable number to remember is the negative 8.2%.
Yeah, I certainly am very happy after doing some investigating and getting Cindy's assistance on understanding that. But certainly going forward, and actually I think it's a good thing to see the bottom line rather than something that's masked by smoke and mirrors. I think it's much better for the townspeople to see that. Hopefully going forward, that will be something we can then compare year to year. I am curious about this term, do you call it equalized pupil, or that term, I don't quite understand that particular term very well because, I mean, there's a certain number of pupils, and I imagine not equalized based on weight or something, so it's probably...
Well,
Really?
depending on what the state does,
Really?
they might throw that in there.
Good thing I'm not in school anymore then, huh?
This is where I wish Frank were here, because Lyle probably can talk about this. I'm new to all of this. This is my second year on the board, and if any of you look at this document, yeah, right, I mean, this just, you have nightmares over this document. Frank understands it, but it is such a complex way to calculate per pupil spending.
I
But
see.
we'll let Lyle talk about it.
Do you need to give me permission, because I'm not a resident, or can I just?
Go ahead.
All right, I'll just talk. So equalized pupil is more than what we say butts and seats. It's a student living in poverty counts as more than one student. ELL, students that are English language learners who don't speak English, count more than one student. Whereas a 4-year-old in preschool counts as 0.46 of a student. So when they add all of those up and do whatever their calculation is, then you get what's called an equalized. So it's
I see.
not the exact number of kids in the school.
So it's kind of based on the resources that each student needs.
Right.
Is-
IEP students count more than one.
Yep.
So.
I got you. I understand now. Oh, that was easy.
Well,
Yeah.
do you want to take a stab at the rest of this?
No, but that's much better for me, thank you, I appreciate that. It was wonderful, yeah, that's great. I got that first time around.
Jeff, do you have anything?
No, I don't.
Okay. Jean? Okay. I don't think we have any.
I do.
So-
have
Okay,
some.
go.
One of the things that I've thought that we could talk about, especially with summer coming, and probably talk with you more than anybody else. If you have contractors that are coming in to do big projects at the school, we've got a lot of little projects, and it's really hard to get contractors to come in because they're smaller jobs. So maybe someplace that we could think about coordinating is that if you've got a big job, maybe we could jump in. I mean, it probably wouldn't save us any money, but at least it would get them
Get them down.
over here. So something like that would be very helpful to us at the office. I mean, we have a lot of little things that need to get done, and it's just difficult to get somebody out here to do them. So that would be kind of a big one for us.
Good idea, Michelle. And I definitely will try to connect with you about that when we know specifics. And since I spoke up, if it's okay, I just want to take a minute to say thank you. You know, my hope and plan is to continue on here at Vernon, and from a person from the outside coming in, certainly the way in which having rec and preschool in the building and being connected with town functions on a day-to-day basis. You know, I'm sure you've seen as parents, but it's really powerful that kids transition seamlessly from the end of the school day to other programs, including, you know, after-school program, and I'm really grateful that our kids have those opportunities because we're connected. And so that's been something that's really special for me to enjoy coming in, that doesn't exist in the same way at all in town schools. So, you know, kudos to you folks for that. And, I agree that I just want to continue to work collaboratively to try to find ways that, you know, all town members can benefit the way our kids do on a day-to-day basis, you know. Yeah.
And we'll connect more before town meeting.
Sounds good, yeah.
We'll get to know each other pretty well in the next few weeks.
Plus you got the candy over here, I can't say no.
Jim likes his candy.
Yeah.
If I might, to carry that forward a bit, I remember when the school edition was put on some years ago, and I think there was some question in some people's minds about how that was all going to work. But what I see the school as being a really wonderful central location, not just for kids, but also for their parents, their families, etc. I think, as you said, that's not something you see in town schools, and it actually isn't that common even out in the country. You know what I'm saying? That, to me, I see the Vernon School as being a model to follow. I like that idea.
I agree, and feel welcome too. I mean, for entertainment purposes, we've got our Jump Rope Home Show coming up pretty soon here.
Thursday night.
Yeah.
Oh, and another thing on that note, the select board, whether you all like it or not, would like to sponsor a roller skate night at some point, whether it be
That'd be fabulous.
whether it be this year or next year.
Sounds good.
We will be there.
Sounds good. What does
And
that
will you all be
mean?
on roller skates?
No, that means we will be selling snacks to the benefit of someone. That's what I get to
Does
do
that
when
mean
I'm
I'll be
chair.
selling snacks?
Of course, and you have to be there too. I don't really care.
Can I be on roller skates? I'd rather.
You can be on roller skates. That's
Have
fine.
fun.
You can be the
To be in a
entertainer.
tray.
Jeez, here you go. Have you better
But-
good insurance policy down
So if you
there?
want to, does the PTC?
It's
do that?
PTC.
It's
Okay.
PTC, and I think, I'm totally in support of that. I think we have each one earmarked for certain grades for
Yep.
this year, because our last one's in March, but maybe we
That's
can
fine.
talk next fall.
Yeah,
Great.
absolutely.
Sounds good.
We'll hook up with one. That'll be fun next year.
Sounds good.
All right.
Okay.
You guys have anything else?
When should we do this again?
Just February.
May or June?
Yeah, I was
May or
thinking
June?
May or June.
Okay, why don't we get back with Mike and
Yeah,
come up with a good time?
sounds good.
And we'll come to you next time.
All right?
Yeah,
Thank
we'll
you
come
so
see you
much.
next time. Thank you very much
Thank
for coming in.
you.
Yeah, have a good night.
Thank
Thank
you.
Thank you very much.
Loader bids.
They're not done yet.
They're not out yet, so we're not doing that. Public participation agenda items only. Seeing none. Correspondence and town administrator report.
You have all the correspondence. I know that David gave everybody a copy of, he couldn't want any more information on the fuels, so that's just for your information. On that, that's too much information.
Price is too much.
Can I ask a question about something I read in the fuel thing? They were talking about above-ground tanks would need to have a mixture of kerosene and diesel during the winter, and I understand that. But what I'm trying to figure out is, don't the vehicles themselves need that in the winter, or they'll gel up, or what?
Yeah, I wondered about some of that too.
Depends, because with the DEF system, you don't have to.
With the what?
But with the DEF system, you don't have to add anything additional. That does it for it, doesn't it?
No, that's emission control.
I know, but I thought that conditioned the diesel as well.
As far as I know, my pickup has it. I still have to put
Treatment.
anti-gel into it. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, because it's
I never
almost.
did a leader, is that a problem?
Well, nothing's stopped.
That was fun.
Well, the only reason I asked about it is because it seems to me like the way this was written is perhaps like it was a negative for above-ground tanks.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, I mean, your vehicles are out driving around in sub-zero weather. You certainly don't want them to gel up, and so I would think that might be.
Well, I mean, there could be a substantial price difference between underground tanks versus above.
Well, that's true.
That would more than offset any increased fuel costs.
Oh, I see what you're
If that's
saying,
the
yeah.
case.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I don't.
Yeah, all right.
I don't know if there's a price difference.
I don't know either.
So.
Cindy's got something for us real
Is
quick.
that,
What's
I
up?
wanted to catch you while you were still talking about the school, but
Oh, okay.
you were quick. I sent an email, I know Steve got it,
I
to
got
all
it.
of you last Sunday regarding how the school budget worked.
That was
Did you-
very helpful.
Did you all receive
Very.
it?
No.
Okay, and I was wondering if you felt it would be appropriate for me to read this for people that are watching. It might help explain things a little more, or if you don't think
It was
that's.
very helpful for me. I would almost think something like that would be wonderful in the town newspaper,
Okay,
because then they could read it and actually copy it out and maybe
Right.
study it or something.
okay.
If you
I
could-
thought what you did was wonderful there.
If somebody could forward that to the email that I checked, that would be awesome.
Yeah,
Or even if you can't.
Apparently the emails that I was told to use, you guys don't check them.
No, I know, well, I
haven't-
can't
I
get
haven't
into
used the
mine.
Vernon
Mine
email in
is
a very
working.
long time.
I
She
had-
does.
I had
I think you're the only
technical
one that
issues.
still uses your Vernon email.
Yeah, I need correct emails, because I came in on Sunday and worked on this because of the confusion last Thursday that Tim and Christie were having.
Well, you use my correct email all the time for like Todd's emails and stuff. That's the correct one.
Okay, well, for the select board stuff, I sent it to the one I was told was your select board email.
I understand, yeah.
Todd's stuff is correct.
Well, yeah, but it's-
Everything goes to that email.
Okay,
We'll make it easy. Everything goes to that email that you send
All right.
90% of stuff.
well, I can forward it to you then.
That'd be
tomorrow.
awesome. Thank you.
But I mean, I
Cindy,
don't have a problem
yes.
if you read it. but
Like,
I-
on the town Facebook page,
Yeah,
Martin would
put that there.
put anything you wanted, and so that would seem very timely to maybe
That's what I was
ask him
thinking, is get it
to
out there so.
Yeah,
put
absolutely.
that
Because I
out
know a lot
there.
of people, they're gonna have the same
Oh,
Yeah.
yes,
deer in the
yeah.
headlights.
Right, yeah,
He'll
deer
put
in the
it-
headlights.
He'll put it up on the Facebook page, he'll put it up on the website.
And he'd probably put it on the unofficial
Be great.
website also then.
Thank you.
And I think
Alright.
that's a great idea.
All right, thank you.
You did?
Anything else?
I'm
Michelle?
offended, that's what I said. You had interesting.
Okay, the lock on the safe has been repaired. We now have a digital lock. So that will be super easy if someone comes. We don't have to worry about combinations. Also, it's battery powered, so easier to fix than the last one. Tim Arsenault has been appointed to the executive board of the Wyndham Regional Commission now. So there's that. The warnings for the town meeting were mailed out, and hopefully everybody has received theirs, right? They are, the annual report is at the printers. And the annual report is also online already.
Yes, I saw
online.
It's
Martin
online.
Posted that
It's
already.
available online. Martin got it up there today.
Wonderful.
Very nice.
Okay, and as I think most of you know by now, Patty Blum has submitted her resignation. Her last day will be Thursday. And we have already offered the job to another individual, and hopefully we will have more on that next. So it looks like we're hoping for a seamless transition between the two. So, and someone looks like someone's coming in before town meeting. So we won't be, Tim won't be assistantless. Also, two other things for your schedule coming up, additions to your schedule. The Spring Select Board Institute, most of you are seasoned now. This will probably be more for newer select board members coming on. And there's a town officers education conference on April 3rd or April 10th. And that's another VLCT thing coming up. And that's all I have.
Okay, so upcoming meeting schedule, VLCT Local Government Day on the 15th. Next regular meeting is February 20th. And that's it. We're adjourned.
Thank you.